Hello everyone. Many times in real life business scenario, you may want to have, let's say, legal agreements or contracts or invoices or things like that as templates, because you don't want to keep drafting them again and again. So keep them as templates, and then when a new customer comes or when your new supplier comes, you have to create a document specific to that customer supplier. You may want to just generate that dynamically using the template. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video, how to easily do that using Power Automate. In future episode, I can also talk about how to build a PowerApps app using that on top of this flow or on top of this Power Automate. But the crux of that step is how do you generate document or PDF from a template Word document that you might have. Hope you'll find it useful. Let's first look at the outline of what we're going to cover. We'll first create a Word document template. I'll show you how to do that. Many of you might already know, but it took me a while to really understand how that works. And you cannot do it in the SharePoint online version of the document. You have to do it using the desktop version, and then you upload that template document to the SharePoint document library, and then you'll create the Power Automate to populate the Word document from the template, and then you can convert the Word document to PDF. So let's get started. Here is my Word document. If you don't know what is a template, the way you do that is go to File, New, and you see many templates here. You can pick any of them. Some of them actually use the template. So for example, if I pick the one which let's say I have this, I don't know if it has a template field, but yeah, I think it does. And for you to see those template fields, you have to go to this developer menu and click on design, and you see many of these fields have some kind of cylinder around that. They're telling that they are the templates, and these are the dynamic fields that you get from here. So basically what is happening is these are the fields that you get from this, and I'll also show you how to do that in a blank document. So let's say you don't use this template. The way to do that yourself is, just cancel this. So the way to do it yourself is create a new document. I'll create a blank document and go to developer menu item, click on design mode, and you'll see different options here. So let's say I want to send a personalized letter, so I'll say hello, and this name I want to put as a template, so I'll say design mode, put this template, and you see here a placeholder is created. I can say, I'll just remove this and use the same template, customer name, and then say you are invited, blah blah blah. So now every time this template is used to generate a document or PDF, this customer name placeholder is replaced with the actual name that you will provide from your app or from your Power Automate button. A couple things you have to do before you can call it a template ready to be deployed or ready to be uploaded is select this, and you see this option properties. You have to click on properties and give a title here. That's how Power Automate will know that you have to replace this. So I'll just say customer name. So that's a name of the customer that you have to use in this. And then you can leave it as that. You have to save this as a document file. So what I mean by that is save as. I'll browse, let's say I'll go to documents. The format in which you save it is not Word document, but you will see another option which says Word template. That's a format you have to use, and next time when you come here, create a new document. So let's say I come here and create a new document. Let me go back here. I can create a new document using these standard templates, or I can also use the template that I just created. and then that's how I will save this as a docx file. So go to any folder, let's say you pick this, and this time you can save this as docx file. Let's say hello, and that's a template file that you're going to upload to SharePoint. One thing to note, many of you will not see this developer menu item in your Word. The reason for that is you will have to first enable this option in the custom ribbon before you can see it. So let me show you how to do that. So go to File, and I always get confused here, but let me try. Go to Info, and you see all properties here, and I think I got confused here. Go to File, go to I'm sorry, you have to go to File and Options, and within Options you see this option called Customize Ribbon, and on the right side if you scroll down you will see this developer option that I have enabled. If I disable, you will see that this developer menu is gone. So just to repeat, if let's say if you don't see that option, you have to go to File, click on Options here, go to Customize Ribbon, and click on Developer, and that's how you will see this menu item. Alright, so hopefully you got idea of how to create a template document. For this demo, I'm going to use the one that I already created, and that is this one. As you can see, this is a template document using the same concept. I looked at the design, look at the property of this. It says person, that is the name of this field that I'm going to replace. You can put multiple fields just to keep things simple. I said hello, name of the person you're invited to celebrate with us. So think about this as invitation, and I'm going to this is my SharePoint list. So I have uploaded this template here as invitation.docx, and as you can see, it's the same template file. All right. Now for me to create a Power Automate or flow, I will go to Power Automate and create one from scratch. So for our testing, I'm going to create one instant cloud flow. What instant cloud flow means is you can trigger it manually. So for this demo, we're going to trigger it manually. That means when the flow is run, it will ask for some input. I will give the name of the person as input, and with that, hopefully we'll have a document created where the name of the person replaces what you see as the placeholder here. All right. With that, you can also make it some other kind of flow or Power Automate that you can call from PowerApps as well. So I'll leave that as exercise for at the end of this video for you. In future, I can also create another video to show you how to do that. But that's a simple part. The most important part is how do you create this kind of flow. So let's get started. So I'll create instant flow, skip it. And the trigger for that is flow button for mobile. So you can also trigger it from your mobile and manually trigger a flow. I'll give an input, and this input is going to be text type, and I'll replace the name of this input with, let's say, person name, and this is where we're going to manually provide the input, and that's what we're going to use. The next step is you look for populate. You see populate a Microsoft Word template. That's the action we have to pick. Note that this is a premium connector, so if you don't have the right licensing, it will ask you to either sign up for free trial or ask you to buy that license. Now where do we want this? So we want this in the SharePoint site. It shows me list of all different sites. If you don't see yours in the list, then you can always go back and copy up till here manually. But since I see mine, which is the operations one, I'll pick this. Let's go to document library. the one that I'm going to use is operations and contracts. So I'll use the one contracts, and let's select the file. The file is invitation.docx. So this is the file, that template file that I uploaded. Keep in mind that the file, I struggled with that little bit. First I thought that I can just create the template file, which is .x, .dotx, and that's what I have to upload. But when I was doing that, I was not seeing that in the list. So I had to create another file with .docx name, and that's what I uploaded, and then I see that in the list. So I'll create .docx. Now this tells what file. Okay, so we selected the file. Now the last input that it needs is person, because it identified that this is a template file and it expects a person, and this is a dynamic parameter that I'm going to use from what we have given in the first step. So what did we give in the first step? Remember, we said that person name is the input that we're going to provide in this step. So I'm just going to select that. So at the end of this step, you manually provided the person name, and your Word template now is going to use this person name to populate the Word template. Now, so at the end of this step, you have your Word document kind of generated, but it's still the content of that Word document is not created as a file. It's still in the memory. It's still a binary thing. So for that, we'll create another step to create the file in SharePoint. So let's create a file, and let's do that in SharePoint. Create file. So you see one action, create file. Okay, and again, which SharePoint site? I'll choose the same site so that we can see it there. Operations, the folder path, it should be contract. Yep. Okay, name of the file. So what name do you want to choose? I'll just choose a very simple convention. I'll say invitation dash, and then I'll put the name of the person that we provided. So that way, and that's a dynamic content. Many times Flow gives me this problem where if I scroll down, it just disappears. Okay. Oh my God. You see person name. Okay, this time I could select it. All right, so I got invitation, name of the person. So that means a file will be created with the name invitation dash person name, and I want this to be a docx file. So this is .docx. That's the extension I'm going to provide. All right, what's the content of the file? Content of the file is very simple. Whatever was populated by this action, so that's a Microsoft Word document. That's the result of this step. And with this, we can save it. So now we have a flow which can create the file there. Still the file created will be Word document, but let's see how this works so far. And if this works fine, then we can do another step to create a PDF file on top of this Word document. So let's test it. Manually test. Okay, and it's asking for this person's name. Let's say I say this person is Alex, and let's run the flow. It says successfully started. So it populated and it's now creating the file, and seems like the step is complete. Let's see. Okay, so we see a new file created, invitation dash Alex. Alex is the name that we gave manually. Let's see the content of this file. As you can see, the content of this file has hello Alex. It replaced the placeholder text with this name. So our basic stuff is done, and for many of you this should be end of it. You can run it again just to try. So let's go back to this. I'll run it again, this time with a different input, and you'll see that we'll have another file with this name. So let's say you create Julia. Done. And if it all goes well, then yeah, we should have another file with the name. Yeah, so you see another file created here, and if you look at the content of this, here the placeholder text is replaced with this name. So that works perfectly fine. Now if for many of you this might be good enough, but if you're interested in not the Word document but the PDF, so that you can email it or you can download and send, because then you don't have format dependency, you can easily do that. So for doing that, just go to new step, add another action which converts the SharePoint file to PDF file. So let's see how do we do that. Word to PDF. There are many connectors which will be available, including some from Adobe. I want you to scroll down and select the one that is available by Microsoft, and I think it is part of Word Online. Let's select this. Okay, so we see two options: convert Word document to PDF. So that's the action that we have to select here. So I'll select this. What location? The same SharePoint location. What document library? And I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, what document library? Contracts, file. So what file? Let's think about that a little bit. What Word document we want to convert? We want to convert the document that was created as part of this stuff. So rather than statically selecting it, we want this to be dynamic. So how will we get that? We will get the file that was created here. So let's see, create file, select a Word file through file browse. I guess we can pick create file. I guess this one, and okay, let's see what happens at the end of this stuff. Let's do one more run of this and see if the flow ran successfully. Okay, it created the file, it converted the Word document to PDF. But as you can see, still the PDF that was created is in binary format. So I'm just making incremental development. So this file is created, these files are created. I'm just going to delete all of them to keep it clean. If you run your flow with the same input again and again, you might hit some error because it will say file already exists. You can either work around that, or in many cases you want this to not create the file again with the same name. So totally up to you and on your business requirement. Okay, so now the next step that we have to do is, file is created, we just have to create a file in SharePoint. So because right now the PDF generation that happened is just the binary file, binary PDF file as part of this stuff. So I'll go to SharePoint, create file, the same SharePoint location, the folder path. Okay, let's pick the folder path, which is contracts, name of the file. So the name of the file, we would like to put the same name here, and the name that I would like to put is invitation dash and name of the person. So that is the person name that we got in the first step. So let's keep going down and select this. and the file name should be PDF type. So PDF. What should be the content of the file? It's very simple. It's just the output of the previous step, which converted Word document to PDF. So select that. And I guess that should be it. Let's test it. Okay, let's try this time with Julia again. Okay, so flow is running. It populated the Word document template. It created the file. It created some error here. Okay, so seems like, okay, so I made one mistake. As you can see from the error, it says contract invitation Julia PDF contents invalid character. I think I should have put some .pdf and probably some other name problem. So let's go back and fix that. Okay, so dot at the end. I wanted to put dot at the beginning of this. I guess that should fix the problem. I'll just delete this file from here so that I don't get existing file error next time. And let's run it again. Okay, let's see. Okay, creating the file created, document converted to PDF, now waiting for PDF. So seems like it ran successfully. Let's go back to our SharePoint and see what happened. Yep, we have a document, we have a PDF file. Let's open the PDF file, and it does seem to have the right content. So our flow is working successfully. Like I said, if you're not happy with leaving this Word document here, you can always delete it, and that should be very simple enhancement to it. Just go to edit. I'll not do it in this video, but just go to edit. After you created the PDF, just take another step of deleting the file from SharePoint of the same name, and you should be good. Hopefully you found it useful. This is it. In future video, I can also talk about how to use this flow from from PowerApps, so that you don't have to manually type, and that should be it. All right. Hope you found it useful. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for watching videos like this, and let me know if you need me to prepare any kind of tutorial or lesson, or provide some clarification on some topic related to Power Platform, Azure data science, or anything related to technology. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.